Let's kick things off with our number 10, Fiorentina. This iconic mid-table team from Serie A reached the Conference League final last year, where they lost to the Greek side Olympiakos. Interestingly, the club from beautiful Florence also lost the Conference League final the year before, that time to West Ham United. This summer, the club saw their coach Vincenzo Italiano leave for Bologna. However, the squad seems to be staying fairly intact, with Moise Kean coming in as a key addition. Take charge and lead the team to new victories in their signature purple kits, successes that the fans have been eagerly waiting for. It's been 23 years since they last lifted the Italian Cup back in 2001. Wipe away the heartbreak of those two lost Conference League finals by guiding the club to new heights. Now let's move on to number 9, where just a stone's throw from a national monument lies a small football stadium with a rich history. We're talking about Pisa. This club from the world-famous town in Tuscany enjoyed its glory days in the 1980s under the flamboyant chairman Romeo Anconetani. Back then, the team featured well-known players like Brazilian star Dunga and Dutchman Wim Kieft, who had just won the European Golden Boot as a young talent at Ajax. After those successful years, the club faced multiple financial struggles and dropped down to the lower divisions of Italian football. In 2019, they were promoted to Serie B, where they have since remained a stable force. Relive the glorious days of the 80s by guiding the club back to the top tier of Italian football and signing some star players along the way. At number 8, we have yet another club of legendary status with a rich history in both Italian and international football. We're talking about Sampdoria, now led by icon Andrea Pirlo. 2 years ago, Sampdoria was relegated to Serie B, and last year, they failed to make it back to the top flight. The late 80s and early 90s were the club's golden years, with strikers like Vialli and Mancini leading the charge. They won the Italian League and lifted the European Cup Winners' Cup, though they also lost that final once more. And in 1992, they fell short in the Champions League final at Wembley. Later on, Dutch legend Ruud Gullit also played for the club, helping them secure the Italian Cup. Bring back those glory days by guiding this magnificent club back to the top level and signing some world-class stars. Moving on to number 7, we find Palermo, the Sicilian club known for their stunning pink kits. This club has produced some big names in international football, such as Cavani, Dybala, and Pastore. However, since 2017, Palermo has been absent from Italy's top flight, and in 2019 they were declared bankrupt, forcing them to restart in Serie D, the lowest tier of professional football in Italy. Since then, the club has been on the rise again and is now a solid mid-table team in Serie B. Search for the raw diamonds in South America and help lead this club back to Serie A through these talents. At number 6, we have the old lady Juventus. After a disappointing year, it's time for new energy in Turin. Thiago Motta was appointed as the new manager after a successful season with Bologna, and several players were shown the door this summer. Last year, Juventus struggled to score goals, leaving the fans craving more excitement. It's now been 4 seasons since Juventus last won the league title, and they haven't even come close since. Step into Thiago Motta's shoes. Bring in headline-grabbing players and give the youth a chance. Help Juventus return not only to the top of Italian football, but also to the pinnacle of European competition. It's been nearly 20 years since they last won the Champions League in 1996, and although they've reached multiple finals since then, the last one in 2017 against Real Madrid, they've lost them all. Can you lead the old lady back to the top? At number 5, we have a club that's been riding a wave of success in recent years. Last season, they were the only team to defeat Bayer Leverkusen. Of course, we're talking about Atalanta, who triumphed over Leverkusen in the Europa League final, an incredible achievement. Unfortunately, last week they lost the Super Cup to an unstoppable Real Madrid, but there's certainly no shame in that. The big challenge for Atalanta lies in maintaining success while constantly losing your best players to Europe's top clubs each season. You'll need to keep searching for young talents or hidden gems, a really exciting challenge. Now we move on to number 4, where we find Napoli. After their league title 2 years ago, last season was a disaster for the defending champions. They finished a dismal 10th, with little left of the team that had so convincingly won the title the year before, despite most of the squad remaining the same. This season, success coach Conte has taken charge and is tasked with bringing fresh energy to the squad. Try to keep the team together as much as possible and guide this magnificent club back to the top of Italian football, playing with the fantastic style that brought them the title in their championship year. With the new features in FC25, this should be easier than ever to recreate. And now we kick off our top 3 Italian clubs, starting with number 3, Parma, another historic Italian team with a colorful history. Parma are the reigning Serie B champions and are making their return to the top flight this season after a 3-year absence. The club has endured a turbulent decade, having had to restart in Serie D back in 2015. However, they quickly found their way back to the top level. In 2021, they were relegated again after a 3-year stint in Serie A. This time, the goal is to relive the glory days of the 90s when the club won what is now known as the Europa League 3 times. Around the same period, they also lifted the Italian Cup 3 times. Can you bring this magnificent club back to its former glory? For our number 2, we move an hour south to Bologna. Bologna had an incredible season under coach Thiago Motta last year, which resulted in a 5th-place finish and qualification for this season's Champions League. However, this fantastic result didn't come without a price. As mentioned earlier, Thiago Motta left for Juventus, and the club also lost some key players, including striker Xerxes and defender Calafiori, who both moved to the Premier League for a combined fee of around 45 million. While new coaches and players have been brought in to fill the gaps, it remains to be seen if the club can replicate their success. This is where the challenge lies in career mode on FC 25. And it's exactly why Bologna sits at number 2 on our list. Expectations are sky high as Bologna enters the new season, but many uncertainties surround their quest for continued success. And now on to our number 1 on this list, and you might have already guessed it. We're talking about Como. The club from the town of Como, with its stadium nestled by the stunning Lago di Como, was still playing in the 4th tier of Italian professional football in 2019. Since then, they've made an impressive journey to the top level of Italian football. Leading the team is none other than Cesc Fabregas, who ended his playing career here and has now started his managerial career at the club. In the meantime, well-known defender Varane was signed on a free transfer, along with a few strategic acquisitions. The big challenge here is to first keep this relatively small club from the beautiful town of Como in Serie A, and then help them grow into a stable mid-table side. And with this beautiful story of Como, we've come to the end of this video. Are we missing the team you'll be managing when FC 25 comes out? Share your team in the comments and tell us why. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video, where we'll take a look at our favorite teams in Germany. See you soon.